It happened. The bastards finally did it. And what has been a drought of more than a decade, well, maybe not a decade, maybe on and off of a decade of just very turbulent times for Bethesda, they finally did something great, right? I haven't really been happy with this company for a very long time. Not in the 2020s, that is for sure. And we finally got the remaster we all wanted. And not only that, but they did an ingenious thing, which I think more gaming publishing companies should do, which is that Bethesda shadow dropped Oblivion Remastered. And that's what we're going to be talking today. We're going to be talking about Oblivion Remastered. And we're going to be talking about, we're getting a little bit of hyped. There was definitely some breadcrumbs, but we really do need to ask ourselves, now that it has taken the attention of the gaming community for the last week, and it's all that I've seen, we really have to ask ourselves, is it living up to the hype? Now, let's talk about the positives for it. This has to be one of the most visually stunning games I have played in recent memory. When I started playing, I kept saying, wow, wow, wow. There's some recordings of my live stream, and you can maybe hear me say it live because holy shit, this is so visually stunning. I'm playing on ultra graphics, and I'm so glad I got a new computer a couple months ago just to experience it because it is stunning visually. It is one of the most powerful pieces of video game media just from a visual standpoint that I have seen in a very long time. And on top of it, this is something where when Oblivion came out back in 2004, 2005, it was stunning then. And so for them to be able to quite literally reinvent the wheel and let Oblivion be that ground-shaking game again from a visual standpoint is incredible. Like, that's not easily done. And I'm so glad they were able to do that. They picked the right game to remaster. Like, oh my god, I couldn't imagine if they had just remastered Skyrim, with the 24,000 different versions we have of it. They picked the right game. I started with Morrowind, and I would love to see a rehash of Morrowind. Definitely don't choose the same combat system. It can't be a reroll. It can't be a role-based combat system like they have in the original. Like, either stick with the Skyrim or stick with the Oblivion combat system. But anyways, moving on. The other thing that I really love about the game is that they still captured the essence of Oblivion without completely changing everything about it. Now, that's not to say there are still some things that I would have liked to see tweak a little bit more. I'll be honest, I love Oblivion more than Skyrim. However, I do think Skyrim's combat system and the takedown system is superior to what we saw in Oblivion and even in the remaster. I was frankly really hoping that when I did a stealth kill that it had the cinematic sequence that we see in Skyrim, or even the goofy arrow flying cinematic that you see in Skyrim Marksmanship, which we don't have here. Maybe that will come. I don't think that would be a huge rehaul for a mod or in their mod store, which I know is going to happen. That'll be a negative that I talk about here in a minute here. But, this is the thing that overall, though, they did great. They still captured the essence of Oblivion. The next thing I like about it is that it includes all the DLC. I can literally go to Shivering Isles right now if I wanted to, and I'll probably include some footage of that just because I thought Shivering Isles was one of the goofiest and wildest DLCs for a game, in a good way. It's kind of like, for me, it's like an Alice in Wonderland type, and I think that's actually what they were going for, but it's like an Alice in Wonderland type expansion, and kind of detracts, but not completely is untethered from the original game. So all in all, there's so much positive to say about this game and that how it does live up to the hype. But that being said, there are two things I need to talk about where this game isn't strong or doesn't quite live up to the hype or isn't even as good as the original version. So first is I have to say I am not a fan of the UI overhauls. I think they tried to make it too sleek. Now I'm a PC gamer, but when I can, I like to use my gaming controller, my Xbox controller, and I'm using it for this. And I have to say that the Xbox controls for the PC for the original Morrowind way more put together than what we have here. They're a little bit clunky. It's a little bit non-intuitive. Like for instance, in the old one, when you wanted to go to your mini map, you just hit X. Now you have to zoom all the way in and then zoom in once more to see your mini map. That's not. I know that's maybe efficient from a button standpoint, but that's not efficient from a user interface standpoint or from like a user gratitude standpoint. I also just have not really enjoyed the alchemy new setup. I haven't enjoyed the new looting or like the inventory screens where you have to like basically click two buttons just to switch over to your inventory versus the whatever your looting inventory. It's a little unintuitive, and so that's definitely the biggest thing, is that the UI has its holes and it has its inefficiencies, which I'm not a fan of. The other thing that people have called out on why it doesn't have maybe a perfect rating is because it does seem that there is no workshop enablement currently, and I think a lot of people, myself included, don't think it's ever going to come. I think at this point we can probably expect Bethesda to do what Bethesda does, which is just say, you can use our creator club, which is i.e. paid for mods or mini DLCs in their own way. I think that's what's going to happen. I think that's what we're going to have to expect here, which is a huge bummer, because I really think that, once again, just like, even in the same way I talked about Schedule 1, these are games that can benefit greatly from the modding community, and putting a cap on that, hamstringing the modding community, only ever serves to weaken the game. It rarely ever serves to strengthen it. So those are the two negatives. All in all, do I think this game is living up to the hype? Yes, 1,000%. I really do. I think this has definitely been one of the best remasters I have ever played, and I'm so happy about what we're seeing here. I really recommend that you check it out, especially for, I think it's like $50, $50 US dollars. I got the deluxe at 60 or 70, whichever it is. But it's definitely worth the money. It's definitely worth just, really getting that nostalgic itch, but with a facelift like you would never believe. So definitely check it out. I highly recommend it. It is well worth the hype. That's all that I got, guys. Thank you, everyone, for watching this. I hope you know that, I hope you know that I'm proud of you. I hope you know that things can and will get better for you all. And I can't wait to see you in the next video. As always, take it easy.